I think, again, that's why this year sustain the momentum we had last year and gain even new viewers, because if you look at, I mean, we were up triple digits in every category, in every demographic, and young people, old people, young girls and boys were having watch parties and watching our games. So it was incredible.
What if I told you that one player's absence could cause an entire professional league to lose more than half its viewers? Sounds impossible, right? But that's exactly what's happening in the WNBA, and it's sending shockwaves across the sports world.
And her fan base. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not.
Let's start with the facts. Since Caitlin Clark went out with an injury, WNBA TV ratings have dropped by over 50%. That's not just the Fever, it's the entire league. Even the Indiana Fever, her team, saw a 53% decline in local viewership. Now think about that. When one player can cause that kind of drop, it says everything about how much she means to the league. But here's the scary part. It also shows how fragile the league's current popularity really is. And trust me, that's only the beginning of the story.
How do you balance making sure you're not just too focused on her, but you also don't want to not focus on her not enough? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is a balance, but she's a generational talent. No league's ever about one player, but in this case, Caitlin brought tens of millions of new viewers into the W, and there's no denying that impact.
You won't believe this, but some are already calling Caitlin Clark the Tiger Woods of women's basketball, and honestly, the comparison holds up. Just like Tiger brought millions to golf, Caitlin brought a whole new audience to the WNBA. The energy, the buzz, the ticket sales, it was all her. But unlike golf, the WNBA didn't seem prepared to embrace this moment. Instead of leveraging her momentum, it feels like they resisted it. And now we're seeing the fallout.
League. And it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And if
That's not all. This isn't just about viewership. The WNBA is entering CBA collective bargaining agreement negotiations at the end of this season. And guess what? Lower ratings could mean lower revenue, weaker negotiating power, and smaller salaries for players. This was supposed to be the breakout year. Instead, it's threatening the financial future of the league. That dip in attention isn't just disappointing, it's dangerous.
Just turned 23, so she is hugely popular. But again, you do want to balance it because obviously you saw what happened with Juju Watkins, getting hurt. You want to balance making sure that you're also promoting your other stars like an Asia Wilson, like a Brianna Stewart. Nafisa Collier killed it last year. I mean, she was the runner-up, MVP, and the defensive player.
And here's where things take a frustrating turn. The media and even league players pushed back against the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. Instead of celebrating her, they started shaming her fans, calling them names, accusing them of only liking her because she's white, investigating fans after opening night. It's like the league forgot the golden rule of business. Don't alienate your customers. And the results? We're seeing them in the numbers.
Caitlin's coming. There's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
The one thing that I cannot deny is the amount of little girls that were showing up to follow her. Little girls with their parents and the fervor and the energy there.
Why her?
Same thing.
Why her?
Well, but she was a white girl from the middle of America.
Here's the part that might shock you the most. Many fans aren't just tuning out, they're boycotting. That's right. People who fell in love with the game through Caitlin Clark are now choosing not to support other games, teams, or even the league itself. Why? Because they felt pushed away, insulted, and unwanted. When a fan base feels more judged than welcomed, they leave. And when millions of them walk out, the ratings collapse starts to make sense.
And it was also reported that the Indiana Fever television viewership is also down over 53%. Now, I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said, one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact impact on a sport. Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion, but not like this.
But it gets worse. Rachel reminds us that the WNBA isn't doing enough to market its product, especially not its star players. Instead of putting the spotlight on Clark and other rising stars, the league has tried to level the playing field by downplaying her. That's not how growth works. Sports thrive when you elevate the best. The WNBA has to learn how to sell its stars, not silence them. Otherwise, this won't be a one-time drop. It'll be a long-term decline.
Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games? I think we have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat. And as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone
else. And
else.
Speaking of missed opportunities, the way the media pits players against each other is getting out of hand. First, it was Caitlin versus Angel Reese. Now it's Caitlin versus Paige Buchers. Comparison is part of sports, sure, but the tone here, it's divisive. Instead of building up both stars, we tear one down to lift the other. That's not growing the game. That's splitting it in half. And guess what? Fans notice, and it's pushing more of them away. That's not all. This is also about how the game is played. Clark brought a fast-paced, three-point heavy style that fans loved. The Fever were exciting to watch. But now, without her, some teams just don't bring that same energy. And you can't force fans to enjoy a slower or less dynamic game. Even great basketball sometimes can't overcome viewer disinterest if fans aren't emotionally invested. And right now, the WNBA isn't giving them much to hold on to. You won't believe this, but the biggest missed opportunity might be how the WNBA never truly embraced its new fans. Instead of saying, "Welcome to the league," media personalities and players were online saying, "Go back to where you came from." Imagine how different this season could have been if those fans felt celebrated, not criticized. If they were encouraged to explore other teams and players. But now, the damage is done, and the WNBA has to work overtime to win those people back.
It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. So last night, we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover?
And finally, let's be honest, this isn't sustainable. No league can survive on the back of one player. And Caitlin Clark, as amazing as she is, shouldn't have to carry that pressure. The WNBA had a golden opportunity to expand its fan base, build rivalries, spotlight multiple stars, and grow its reach. But instead, it leaned too hard on one person. Now, the league is learning a tough lesson, and the fans are the ones paying the price. So, what do you think? Is the WNBA just going through growing pains, or did they seriously fumble their biggest moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's talk about it. And if you want real, unfiltered takes on women's basketball from someone who lives it, smash that like button and hit subscribe right now here on She Can Hoop too. We've got new videos every single week, and we're just getting started.